wonderful people. How are you this afternoon, this morning? Is it still morning time? Thank you for having me. It is always an honor to be asked to come to your group because you guys are just doing something really cool and different that I feel like me and my people, my crew, we kind of try and do a similar thing but through art and music. So we have like an open mic every Wednesday at the Uptown Arts Bar. Some of you may know that I started that 4 years ago. And so you are always welcome to come to my home if that's something that interests you. So 9 o'clock on Wednesdays. In the meantime, I wasn't going to do any music for you. I was going to read some from my book, if that's all right with you guys. So I wanted to tell you a little bit, first of all, about this program. This is called the Pop Poetry Series, and Prospero's and Spartan Press are producing or publishing a poet a month in the Kansas City area. And the thing that's really special about this is that the first 40 copies that are sold go to funding next month's poet. So we're really just trying to give young people and people of all ages an opportunity to get their work out there. So I am so grateful. And my book is called Class Action because I was thinking about going to law school, but this is way more fun. So my parents are a little disappointed. But this book, I dedicated it to my grandfather, who is a lawyer, and it's a collection of poetry that I felt like I wanted to leave behind, if, you know, as my legacy or whatever. So I'm gonna read a few pieces out of it, and yeah, I look forward to sharing the morning with you guys. This first one is called Tapestry. What happens when the wall all falls down? Everyone knows that the tapestry is woven. We're all here, we're all aware, we have all been chosen. Everyone catches that the strings are all attached as we crash into each other on this irrational axis. But what happens when the strings unravel? When all the roads have been traveled and the culture shock shatters, where will you be? Home, sitting alone on your throne of victory, hoarding batteries and harvesting preservatives, or sleeping comfortably with your superlatives? Patiently praying for these manifestations, co-creating our revelations, level up PlayStation. See, my brain wants to think at some point, pie has to repeat itself. And any way you cut it, nets are bad for your health. So you've got to turn this tapestry around. Shake it from the ground up, hold up our fists and rock it, building futures not for profit, a force so great no stopping it. Changing vibes on a dime, lifelong cause, because one day it feels like it makes sense that we will all be singing a similar song. Things won't seem so wrong, getting a nice whiff of the whole world turning on a paradigm shift, all this violence be gone. See our rebirth of mankind unfold all along. Just one thought of peace held on the tongue of everyone at once, that is my want, so come on. Let me take you to a faraway place where face and race don't decide who gets to pray. Where you and I equal unity, the sooner we learn how to believe in community. Where what we wear matters less than how we wear it, and what we trade fair matters less than how we share it. Because what happens when this tapestry unravels? Well, somebody has got to put it back together in a different fashion. So let's make it happen in a rebirth of magic. Thank you. So my grandfather, I made this documentary about him, and it's called The Hellraiser. He was a lawyer and civil rights activist in Kansas City in the 70s and 80s, and still to this day, he's 89 years old and still working. And his big thing is about teaching private citizens that you too have power, that we all have power to make changes. And something I grew up with him saying was, how do you eat an elephant? You heard that? One bite at a time, right? So, this is called How Do You Eat an Elephant? How do you eat an elephant? Well, step one is irrelevant in the process of enlightenment if you already quit blowing smoke. Not joking. Wherever you're at right now, put it down. Decide you're a non-smoker. Be proud. We don't need a crutch. Just stand up. That's what's up. And if you've already quit, well, congrats, but that's not it. So what we put into our body is up to nobody but you. Step two of the stairway to enlightenment is right nourishment. Yes, you are what you eat, and if you eat crap, it's no wonder you hurt like that. See, it's a fact, your body is on a tract, and what biology you attract says a lot about what goes in must come out. C, step 3. C, look me in the eye and do you. What are you here to do? I'm really just here to have fun in this moment under the sun. There is something for everyone, and we have only just begun, and at the same time, we have already won once more. Step 4. It is for sure, this land is our home. Since before Mother Earth was born, now not alone we rest on this throne. We are the chosen ones, the sons and daughters of the sun turned to man. Here to defend our own acre of land, do all we can to work hand in hand with the souls of this earth's lifespan, trust in the divine plan, and take care of the sand, fire, water, and air so we can all dare to survive. Step 5, take care of your tribe. Migrate if needed, but to stay alive, we are better off sticking together, believing that the weather can change on the back of a feather, so plant your roots deep and let the grounds reap the rewards, of course. Find time to escape, but don't let your mind trip. Step 6. Say it like you see. And when you see me, smile and sing, because we are alive and free to know what we know when we see what we say, and if we disagree, yes, we can agree to look the other way as we are on our own way to step 7. Heaven, this place we've not yet really known, at least not in this lifetime, but in the past we've shown it could feel a lot like home. And we can't fight about where we're going or where we've been, but knowing that each day is a chance to start over again from scratch, a train to catch, to be who you need to be, actually free, to move and believe and wear a bindi or read poetry or do whatever. I think our clever parents called it free speech, and now I'm taking it back, making hip-hop hula hoop history. Are you with me? Because if this path is still a mystery, let me remind thee, for those of us not yet ready to be so free, step 1 is to quit blowing smoke. Know that I'm a pretty spiritual person. I was raised Jewish. I've studied Buddhism and Sikhism and all these different things, and I just love all of it. So I'm going to do a few some kind of spiritual, I guess, pieces, but always open source spiritualist is what I call myself. And I love Kabbalah, if anyone knows anything about Jewish mysticism. It's sort of like, I feel like when my friends and I pretend we know something about astrology or all these other sort of esoteric things, and then I looked up Kabbalah and started looking into that, and it really just put things into perspective for me personally. So this is just a short little one. It's called A Lesson in Kabbalah, and it's a lesson that came out of a book called God is a Verb. So, good and evil, right or wrong, black or white, weak or strong. You know, every day we are presented with a choice, to keep to ourselves or to outstretch our voice. Now, why good is to do ways that God prefers, while evil is to sing song of a demon's verse. Mystics present us with a new paradigm, where evil is considered an aspect of divine. Now, rather than destroy, my task is to uplift the black of the white into grays we can shift. Good and evil is not one simple dichotomy, but a complex system of veils where light ought to be. So why good or evil is not right or wrong, just as black or white is not weak or strong. It's time to change the way we see things, open up our hearts and toast to new beginnings in 2016. True story. So the other day, this lady came up to me and said, "Hey baby, what is it you believe?" I told her I'm part sage, part Gentile, part Jew, though I haven't been to synagogue in a year or two. I practice what I preach. I worship the night and day. I think God believes in karma, and through music is how I pray. She said, "Now that's great. Let me tell you what to think." I said, "Now wait. Either way, we're going extinct." She paused, reached down for her rifle, pulled out what looked like a tool for survival, which is great if you're checking out a bedtime story of me. I'm just more partial to Tuesdays with Maury. I said, "What about the animals, the mammals, our evolution?" She said, "That's just questions, baby. This is the solution. But how are your fables any better than mine? Either way, it's an ancient art form to explain time, reading signs. As long as you enjoy what you read," she said, "You're going to hell. You don't believe." Since I'd rather go to hell than hold up my fist, I asked, why don't we try making a point to coexist, right? Today's the only day that makes a difference to me, so you do yours, I'll do mine, as long as we have something to believe in. Then she sneezed and I reminded her, God bless you. Whether you are Christian, Catholic, Buddhist, Baha'i, Gentile, or Jew, yo, we are all on a righteous path to truth. So good luck to you. Thank you. So I just wanted to real quick tell you about a few other things. Another project that I'm working on is called Poetry for Personal Power, which is this woman in Kansas City has gotten some grant money to basically have young people bring open mics and performances and workshops all over the state of Kansas in the interest of combating mental illness and mental health with art and music and poetry. So if that's something that interests you, if you have a group of students or people who might want to do a workshop, I would love to come to you in the future. And just a few things I have coming up. I'll be doing a First Friday event at 1922 Baltimore. I told you all that I host the open mic on Wednesday nights at the Uptown Arts Bar. And also I'll be featuring on February 8th at the Uptown Arts Bar. It's a Monday night at 8 o'clock for the Blue Monday Writer's Place poetry event. So if you like poetry, if you like to read, I would love to have you come out and perform and share some words with you. I'm gonna do one more poem for you guys. This is a song that I wrote for my father, who really likes the Beatles, and he didn't really know what to do with my poetry, so I wrote him this. And it is a tribute to the Beatles, and it's all Beatles song titles, everything in it, so I hope you enjoy it. Well, it was a day in the life back in the USSR. 8 days a week on a mystery tour. In an octopus's garden, I saw you standing there. The strawberry fields stretched forever, I swear. Lucy was in the sky with her diamonds just the same in the heart of the revolution, right out on Penny Lane. All come together for the benefit of Mr. Kite, twisting and shouting it was a revolution. Number 9, complaining. You never give me your money, twisting and shouting about it. It got kind of funny when Sergeant Pepper, the director of the Heart Club Band, with his lonely sleeve and silver hammer in hand, met Lady Madonna and the mean mustard man who all came in through the bathroom window with Polythene Pam. It was a classic hippie shake. The paperback writers, they all gave it a big break. They say, yes, we've come together again. We get by with a little help from our friends. Hey Jude, P.S. I love you. Now 8 days a week it was helter-skelter. You were only sleeping when you arose from your golden slumber. Across the universe all together we stood when you really got a hold on me good. Yeah, I am the walrus, cuckoo-ca-choo. Baby, you could drive my car if you want to. Maybe it's you, but you want to hide our love away. You know I've got to get you into my life. That'll be the day you say, hey darling, I know you can't buy me love, but in the end, we all still get by with a little help from our friends. So do you want to know a secret? Yeah, we could work it out. Good day, sunshine, don't let me down. You never give me your number, here comes the sun. I want to hold your hand because all you need is love. I got a feeling or something, just please, please me. Your majesty, a tragedy, come on and let it be. Imagine yesterday is gone. Fly free, voila, life goes on, obla-di, obla-da. Here, there, and everywhere, don't you dare ask me why. Yes, we bought the ticket to ride, so hello, and goodbye. Yes, we've come together again. We get by with a little help from our friends. I say, hey Jude, P.S. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, so I thought I'd get away from the spiritual stuff a little bit. I'm gonna do this piece called Dirty Laundry. I wore my tail for you guys today because I figured y'all could handle the tail. It's a coyote tail, and I found it when I was going through my laundry basket and thought, it wants to come out and play. So this is called Dirty Laundry. So last week, I got a new washing machine. Well, it was used and free. But I had to go pick it up, so my household accompanied me. And we loaded it up, dragged it home, hooked it in to find out that it didn't really work. And that's just the beginning of my dirty laundry quirk, at least the awareness of its stench. So back to the laundromat I went to hang out all my shit. All out in the open like nobody's business. And hey, it's only $2.50 a load now. Witness inflation's a bitch. And when I look at all the stuff I could just lay out on the table, all available, it becomes unfavorable for one reason or another to speak of such wonders. Secret treasures locked inside a basket case that wish to be set free. I shudder, don't ask me why, but you all know how good it feels to be honest. And honestly, tragically, Lately, I've been next to forgetting who I am. So I dig through my dirty laundry to remind myself of where I've been. Hiding behind silent disgust. You know, trust used to be enough. But once disrupt, I find sometimes it's easier just to not bring it up. And I know that we are all stuck waiting around our own muck, wondering, are any of us really telling the truth? Is the truth good enough? Uphill, the walk, always good intentions paved, but downhill, the upswing often sways, with salty wounds and white sails waved. So we continue to run our dirty laundry, our dirty underwear up the flagpole, call it liberty, act like we're not scared, unscathed. It's no big deal, I got this, I'm brave. When really, I am also just as afraid as you on your worst day, and yet still as confident as MLK on parade. So take all your opinions and judgments and put them away, because today, just for today, I'm gonna let it all hang out on display. Comments need not be made. Call it art, and let nothing take that freedom away. Yes, I am blessed. I am privileged. I do know my place. What a funny time and space to feel like you have no voice on a stage. I mean, what use are my words if they carry no weight? What if everything that I have to say is just dirty laundry I can't help but put on display? And yes, while my washer may be broken, at least I've got a clean slate. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That was a really wonderful perspective. It's just always such a blessing to be here with you guys. So thanks for having me. I thought we'd get political. If that's all right. No. When I was in kindergarten, my first grade teacher, she had us memorize the presidents of the United States in order. And since then, my mother has been making sure twice a year that I can still recite them. So I wrote this poem. I figured if I could know who all the presidents are in order, then I should probably know something about them. So I wrote this. It's called I Pledge Allegiance to the Flag. And it is a brief history of the United States. Washington said when democracy was introducing, "It's wonderful what we can do if we are always doing." John Adams honestly followed up his brother, saying, "The history of our revolution will be one lie to another." Jefferson declared democracy a mob crime fight where 51% of people take away the other 49's rights. Madison thought powerful men are all distrusted to a degree, while Monroe said that some flattery is all we really need. America does not go in search of monsters to destroy, said Adams, while disunion by force is treason, that was Jackson. The less government interferes with private pursuits, said Van Bee, the better for general prosperity. Harrison agreed that the strongest of all governments is that which is most free. Tyler annexed Texas in the 1840s. Enough said. Polk died 3 months after his term ended. Taylor passed 16 months into a rough and ready term, which gave Know-Nothing Fillmore time to squirm. Pierce decided, quote, "There is nothing left but to get drunk." Buchanan is consistently named one of the worst of the bunch. Honestly, Abe tried to change up the fun, saying, "Whatever you are, be a good one." Johnson granted a haze. Garfield died 6 months in, so Arthur got a raise. Cleveland was a Democrat in a sea of Republicans. Great lives never go out, said Benjamin Harrison, and then Cleveland got to come back again. McKinley thought, differences are politics, agreements are principles. Teddy's activism wasn't quite that simple. Then there was Taft with the killer mustache. Woodrow had a progressive tone. Harding was about hard news, and Coolidge played it cold. Now, Hoover had a hard time with the Depression growing, but Roosevelt's New Deal had promises showing. Harry S. Truman thought the buck stops here, while I, like Ike, was worried about a Cold War scare. To much surprise, the coveted JFK was too soon gone and slipped away, which gave the 36th President LBJ a Vietnam opportunity. Nixon was in trouble. Ford forgave him. Carter worked for the Habitat for Humanity. Where was Reagan? Bush took military action. Don't forget he had a kid. Finding a different attraction, Monica was almost as popular as Clinton. Bush's child came back to stir it all up, and now it is Obama in which we are supposed to trust. Yeah, this is all for the brief history. In the land of the free, telling we who to be, home of the brave, deciding yours and my fate. This is only a very brief history of the United States. Now, I thought this was our democracy to create. Let me get these 43 straight. It goes Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren. Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Obama. Whoops. Just vote for me, 2016. Right? Thank you.